Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Sheamus returns to the ring. John Morrison returns backstage. And the Usos return to save Roman Reigns. I am Chopper Pete Quinnell. Give us a like and a subscribe and press the eye above my head to let us know what you thought of SmackDown, where you can choose from Smacknificent, Smacktastic, Smack Bang in the Middle, Smack Downer, and a smack in the face. This is the January 3rd, 2020 episode of Friday Night SmackDown in about 4 minutes. No, Laurie, you can't come in. I've done the green screen. You. The show opened with a quick recap of the triple threat main event from last week before Miz and Daniel Bryan are backstage, with Miz telling Bryan to beat The Fiend at Royal Rumble while he figures out what he needs to do next. I'm sure what he needs to do next will become clear later in the show. The main show opened with a triple threat tag match between Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus Lacey Evans and Dana Brooke versus Bayley and Sasha Banks, with each team cutting a quick promo against the others before the match got underway. This was a pretty fun match, with Dana Brooke being a massive improvement in the ring, Alexa Bliss having some nice looking sequences, Bayley and Banks working great together as heels to retain their heat, leading to a nice Lacey Evans hot tag that culminated in a women's right to Banks, followed by a senton from Brooke for the win. A senton that she got all of, by the way. Like, that is a move I would not want to take. I did not want to be Sasha Banks right then. After a quick recap of the Mandy Otis story from last week, Mandy comes up to Otis backstage, but Otis is very standoffish, delivering short, curt lines before Tucker takes him away to focus on getting ready for his match. The tension is so real! The Miz is back again. This time he runs into the New Day, who try to cheer him up by reminding him about the amount of titles he won. But all it does is fire him up, because it's not about titles, it's about the Fiend invading his house. Kofi Kingston squares back up, and it's Kingston versus Miz later in the night. Elias does a song, and it's actually funny. Way! Next we had a backstage altercation between Shorty G and the Revival, which led into a Shorty G versus Dash Wilder match, with Shorty G picking up the win in a fairly quick match. Immediately after the match, Dawson and Wilder continue to beat down Shorty G, but out comes Sheamus for the save? Just kidding, he's a heel, and bro kicks Shorty G into hell. It's great to see Sheamus not cutting a promo in a corridor for once. Kofi Kingston versus The Miz was next, and this was a wonderfully told match, with Kingston constantly outmaneuvering and outsmarting Miz at every turn, making Miz more and more fired up. He slaps away Kingston's attempted handshake, almost has the win with a skull-crushing finale, before Kingston counters it into a roll-up for the win. This fires up Miz even more, and he attacks Kingston after the bell, before Big E makes the save. On the ramp, Miz screams at the crowd and looks distraught. I love this character work from Miz, and it's yet another victim for the Fiend. Bryan and Reigns are backstage, and they cut a nice promo saying if Bryan beats the Fiend and Roman wins the Rumble, it's Bryan versus Roman at Mania, and they both like that. I do too, honestly. Up next, Kathy Kelly knocks on the dressing room door of The Miz, attempting to get some answers, but Miz doesn't answer. Instead, it's John Morrison, who simply says he has nothing more to say, and shuts the door. Miz and Morrison reunion? Are we getting a dirt sheet relaunch? Are they both heels? There's so many questions. Despite this not being the most impactful return, I thought it was supremely effective in what it tried to do. Otis has a match against Drew Gulak, which ends quickly, with backstage shots of Mandy, Sonya, and occasionally Dolph Ziggler watching the match, before we get Braun Strowman versus Cesaro in a decent match, which ends with Strowman countering a neutralizer into a power slam for the win. Then finally, it's time for the main event of Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. This was a decent match again, with Bray Wyatt's laughter ringing throughout the arena, before just as it looks like Bryan is going to win, the Fiend appears, claws Bryan through the barricade, and disappears. Corbin and Ziggler take this opportunity to beat down Reigns some more, and threaten to pour some more dog food on him, because of course they do, before we get the return of the Usos to save him. They undo his handcuffs and stand tall to end the show, which I think is the return we all thought they should make. Overall, I thought this was a pretty good show. We had plenty of returns, and the storytelling of Miz's apparent heel turn, fueled by the events with The Fiend, was perfectly told. It's nice to see Sheamus, Morrison, and the Usos back, and nothing on the show was actively damaging or even bad. And the good stuff was really good. For me, this show was smacktastic. What's the real reason for Liv Morgan's shock return? Press the video to the right to find out more, and press the video below that to find out about a WWE SmackDown star leaving the company soon. A special thank you to our pledge hammers on Patreon, some of whom you can see scrolling below me right now. I've been Chopper Pete Quinnell, and that was SmackDown.